Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So this here's something I've been waiting for. I finally got 500 miles on the 390 gears. They make a little noise. That noise hasn't gone away. It hasn't gotten any worse, but it hasn't gone away, of course. I'm going to be draining the fluid out today just to see what kind of shape it is. I'll probably go in and recheck the backlash on the gears, make sure that hasn't increased. Anyway, we'll get under the car and get that cover off. Okay guys, so we got 10 13 millimeter bolts to pull out. They're all the same except for this one and this one here. They're a little bit longer. They help hold the emergency brake. Okay guys, so I got all the bolts out except for one at the top. That's just to help hold the cover. Now I use silicone on, a real thin layer of silicone on each side of the gasket, so that it usually holds pretty good. So I have to get a screwdriver and a hammer to try to get the cover off. Use a hammer to try to loosen that up. Okay, here she comes. Okay, I was worried it might look like the T1000 from the Terminator, but it don't look too bad. I have seen them come out where they look like liquid metal. Of course, I've only got 500 miles on it too, but we'll get this out in more light so we can see how much metal's in it. So now I'll remove this top bolt now, and there's a little shield there. That shield that supposed to cover some of your wiring, I guess. Okay. Even the magnet don't look too bad. I expected to see a lot of metal, but there's not actually a lot there. Anyway, I'll get some more of this fluid out, and then we'll take this out and we'll look at it in the sunlight. Okay guys, here's the fluid. It's definitely got some sparkles in it, but not nearly as bad as I expected. You get two parts running together like a ring and pinion, brand new, they're going to make some sparkles anyway. I expected a lot more, but doesn't look that bad. The magnet's got some stuff on it, but again, I would expect there to be some stuff on it. When you, like I say, you get two new parts, two metal parts that run against one another, you're gonna get some wear in anyway. Okay guys, so I got the dial indicator set up here just to see if backlash increased or not. So right there, I say it's about 7. So I'm going to just turn it here and check from another tooth. It's about 8 thousandths there. Okay, try it another spot. Anyway, that's about 7. I'm going to take one more. So far so good. It looks like everything's about the same as it was. It's about 7 or 8 thousandths, so I'd say our backlash is still good. I measured in 3 or 4 spots, so I think we're good. Okay, so another thing I did here is I removed the drive shaft so I could turn it by hand, and the pinion preload feels good, and it's very smooth. There's no notchiness. I can't feel any, like when I'm turning it, I don't feel a sudden spot that's got more resistance. So I don't know why this thing is loud. It had a good pattern. I probably should check the pattern again, but I don't think I'm going to bother. because it doesn't really matter what it is. This is the way we're going to run it this summer. and I'll probably get a new set of GM gears next time. I'm thinking it depends on how. I'm not expecting a lot in the quarter mile, like for dropping my quarter mile times. But if it does drop, you know, like 3/10 or something like that, then I might stick with 390s. But right now I'm thinking I'm gonna drop back to a 373. I'm not real happy with the RPM when you're driving. It's getting up there fairly high. But we'll see what kind of results we get, which we're going to find out here before too long. Okay, guys, seeing that I'm already under here, I haven't greased these polyurethane bushings in a while. So maybe I'll grease them, and it takes like it's a different kind of grease. It's not, you don't use a petroleum-based grease on these. You have to use like a silicone-based. I also read that you can use a lithium base, but I use the silicone base because that's what it comes with. Just give it a couple pumps, probably good enough. Let's take that off. There we go. Got this front one. I don't know how often you should grease them. I have no idea, to be honest with you. That's definitely enough for that one. If it's spitting it back out like that, it must be. Okay, so if it's spitting it out like that, it must be enough. Too much, maybe. Try this one again. Spitting her out, so she must be enough. I think that's all of them. Okay, guys, I just got back from taking the car out after switching out the fluid. And I wasn't too hard on it, but I did give her a few little pulls. It's definitely feels stronger to me, especially at 50 miles an hour. I punched it, and it drops down into second gear. It seems to pull quite a bit harder than it used to, which I have to say I'm fairly impressed. This is probably one of the better modifications I've done. Most of the stuff I've done up until this point, I never really noticed any big improvement. But this here really felt like a big improvement. Now, mind you, seat of the pants feel is quite a bit different than actual quarter-mile numbers. While the car feels really strong, it probably isn't that much faster. I'm guessing 1 to 2 tenths. I've had some other people guess a little higher, and in this case, I hope they're right and that I'm wrong, but we'll find out soon enough. Now, one of the things I got to do before we start running the car very hard is, while breaking the gears in, I noticed the transmission temperatures are a little higher than I expected. It was running between about 185 and 195. Now, those are actually good temperatures for a transmission. It's a good operating temperature, but I was getting these temperatures while I was breaking the gears in, and I was only driving probably most of the time 50 miles an hour, a lot of times less, and I was real light on the throttle, and we haven't really had any real hot days yet. So I want to put a transmission cooler in the car. I got it here already, and I want to get that in the car before I start pushing the car too hard. But yeah, I have to say I'm fairly impressed. I think this is one of the better modifications I've done to the car so far. Mind you, there's some drawbacks too. The car is pretty loud when you're just driving around, and I haven't had it on the highway yet, but I'm guessing we're looking at 2,500 RPM, and that's just at the speed limit, which is, I think speed limit's around 65 on the 4-lane. So I don't think I'm going to like that very well, but as far as seat of the pants feel, I have to say I'm fairly impressed. I'm quite happy. Anyway, guys, probably some of you are anxious to see what the numbers are going to be, and so am I. And we'll get them out to you as soon as we can. Right now, like I say, the weather's been not the best. It's been raining quite a bit, and you can't run a quarter mile in the rain. I don't even like to drive the car in the rain, as far as that goes. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and thanks for being patient, and we'll get some performance numbers out to you real soon on both this 2002 Camaro and the Stuntman's 2016 Camaro. Anyway, guys, we'll catch you in the next one.